I'm a type of person who keeps her finances as simple as possible. So today I am going to share all the financial accounts that I have, which are not that much, so I can maybe motivate you guys to create your own simple systems and make personal finance just a little bit more fun for everyone. So just a little bit of a background about myself. I am just your typical corporate girly working her 9-to-5 job, and I don't have any other source of income. So from the get-go, I do not have a complicated income stream, if you might say. Now from that income, I allocate some in my savings, in my investments, and my expenses, and that's really just about it. I have my checking account, I have my sinking funds, I have my investment account, and that's everything that I am going to talk to you about today. Now, when I say I keep my finances simple, I take that by heart. I take that very seriously. And because I want to keep it simple, I have all my financial accounts in one financial institution, and that is Wealthsimple. Now, if you've watched a couple of my videos before, you know how much I talk about Wealthsimple, and no, this is not sponsored at all. I just love Wealthsimple so much. Now, if you're from Canada and you also watch other personal finance YouTubers, you might be hearing a lot about Wealthsimple as well, whether it's sponsored, whether it's not sponsored, but just because it's a really, really great financial institution overall. Again, I have all my financial accounts in there, and they really live up to their name. They keep wealth simple, and they even make you understand what the accounts that you're making are and how to use them. One big advantage of Wealthsimple for me is their interest rate. Now, if I bank with the top 5 banks here in Canada, which I did before, but more on that later, I will not get any interest when it comes to checking accounts. And if I open a savings account with them, I will not get the same interest as I get in Wealthsimple. If I'm correct, if I open up a savings account in CIBC, which was where my checking account was before, I would only get a 0.02% annual interest. But currently in my Wealthsimple, I have a 2% annual interest, if I'm still correct, because the interest fluctuates based on what the inflation rates are according to the Bank of Canada. Now, circling back to the checking account I had with CIBC before, I've decided to close that account because I just couldn't justify the monthly fee. There is a way to waive that monthly fee, which is you have to have $4,000 in that account. That's just not worth it, because what's $4,000 gonna do in an account that isn't even earning interest? It's nothing. I would rather have $4,000 in my Wealthsimple account earning 2% annual interest. So yeah, anyway, since I closed that CIBC checking account, let's look at the checking account that I replaced it with. And I know I mentioned this earlier, but I'm going to reiterate this again, but all the financial accounts that I am going to mention in this video is in Wealthsimple. So obviously, the CIBC checking account that I just closed, all the money that was in there is now in my Wealthsimple checking account. So again, I earn a hefty interest in this account when compared with the 0% interest in my CIBC checking account, and I would not have it any other way. So when I talk about my checking account, this is the only account I can spend on. I mentioned to you earlier that I have sinking funds as well, but I don't necessarily spend from those funds. I only spend on my checking account, and if I need something from my sinking funds, I get from those sinking funds, transfer them on my checking account only when I need them. But so far, I have not needed my sinking funds yet. And in this checking account, I make sure to keep $1,000 of cushion at the start of every month, just so I feel at peace knowing that at times of emergency, I would have money to spend on without touching my other funds. Now let's move on to my emergency fund. So even when I have that $1,000 cushion in my checking account, I still have and I'm still building up my emergency fund. I am just a very risk-averse person and would want to store cash or would want to store liquid assets. And honestly, you guys, this economy is just, I don't know, everything is just getting so expensive. The salaries are not it's not it. The minimum wage here in Toronto is just too low for the cost of living. My salary is okay. I live very, very well with my salary, but again, being a risk averse person, I would just love to keep more liquid assets under my name. Now, I know that the healthy amount of emergency fund is 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, but again, being risk averse, I feel as though I am working on having a 12-month emergency fund. Now, I'm not there yet. I'm still very far from that 6 months worth of expenses, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. And it's just, for me, the economy is just very unstable. I don't want to lose my job one day without having the security that I can live off of my emergency fund for a whole year. But I do want to know, what are your thoughts on having a 12-month emergency fund? Do you think that it's like too much? I know that when I invested in the stock market, it'll obviously get a higher rate of return than when I just put it in my emergency fund account earning 2% interest. But again, it's the risk aversion factor for me. But I don't know, we'll see. I'm still not in that I'm still not in that stage yet anyway. So when I reach that 6 month worth of expenses period, then I'll see if I'll still jump in and build up the up to 12 months worth of expenses. And of course, I am going to update you on that. But again, if you have any thoughts on the emergency fund thing, let me know down in the comments below. Now let's talk about my sinking funds. And I have 4 at the moment: my personal expenses, travel expenses, my giving fund, and a fund for my dogs. Now I have 4 separate, you can call it checking accounts, or well, savings accounts per sinking fund, just because I want to see the allocation per fund. It's just so satisfying for me to see the actual number of the fund that I am saving for. It's like, oh, I already saved $500 for this. I didn't even feel it. The reason why I don't feel it is because everything is automated. Whenever I get my paycheck, a part of that paycheck automatically goes into my sinking funds and all of my other savings and investment funds. If you want to learn more about my payday routine, I have a video about that. You can click it in this this side of the video. Anyways, back to this video. Now, with regards to my sinking funds, one reason that I keep it separate as well is because I want to see the interest per fund. I don't know, I'm just crazy like that. I feel like if I don't see the dollar amount per fund, I wouldn't know, because I don't want to keep track in my budget tracker all the time. Like, if someone else can do it for me, then why not, right? And that someone else is, well, simple. Now let's move on to my one and only investment account for now, and that is the tax-free savings account. The great thing about the TFSA is that it's tax-free. Your contributions are after tax, which means that whatever you contribute in there is the money that you already received from your salary after tax has been deducted, and all the gains and withdrawals that you get from your TFSA are not taxed. So tax-free savings account. Now, this TFSA is for Canadians, but I know that you have the Roth IRA for the US, and all I can say is this is definitely the best investment or registered investment account that the government of Canada has offered to its residents. Although we have an annual contribution limit, for 2025 it's $7,000. Still take advantage of it, right? It's better to take advantage of something even though it has a limit, because tax-free earnings are always a green flag. I also want to mention that I opened my first home savings account as well. It's like the TFSA, but for your first home. So that's money that you can save for your first home. You can also invest the money that you put in there. But my fiance and I are not planning on getting a home soon. We just love to be proactive, but unless I max out my TFSA, then I'm not gonna be touching my FHSA anytime soon. So hopefully I reach the annual contribution limit for the TFSA so I can move on and contribute to my next investment account. Now, the last financial accounts I have are my credit cards. I only have the CIBC cashback credit card and the Amex Green card as of now. Honestly, I can't be bothered to pay any annual fees. I do not even pay any subscriptions at the moment. And again, being a risk-averse person, I am not paying any fees as of the moment. I love my life without without those fees. And yeah, I'm happy with my credit cards. It keeps my expenses low as well. And of course, these cards are connected to my Wealthsimple checking, so it will be easier to pay them off. So this is it. This is how I ensure I hit my financial goals. I make sure to keep my system as simple as possible. I only have a checking account, I have my sinking funds, I have my investment accounts, and my credit cards. That's it. Now, to be honest, I am just really grateful that I have a job that enables me to even allocate funds in all of my financial accounts. I really just have to mention that because without my job right now, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to survive in this economy. Okay, to end this video, I wanna ask you a question. What financial accounts are you comfortable sharing? And how simple or how complicated are those financial accounts? All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.